How's it going, guys? It's been a long time. I've got here a remake of D.O.D. Set Me Free, requested by a Patreon who paid me for it kindly. Yeah, so I've not been uploading recently. I just really haven't had the motivation and not a lot of time, to be honest. I've got like a different job and it's quite a long hours. I lose a lot of my evening travelling, which is a bit long. But yeah, this is what we're going to be making. Right guys, so let's get straight into it. We're going to look over the bass sound first. It sounds like this. The notes are as follows: G sharp, A sharp, and then B. And he just keeps hitting that B on and on and on. It's quite repetitive, but it's not actually too repetitive because you've got the vocal, all this other stuff, the string going on at the same time. So although it may look and sound repetitive on its own, mix with everything else, it's actually not. So yeah, we're in the key of B minor. We then got the sound coming from this Korg M1, the organ 2 preset. So all you've got to do, click load, go to organ 2, double click that, and then you'll get your sound. In terms of effects, we've got a bit of compression coming from this, so insert effects, bit of compression. Then on the master effects, we've got this excite at about 50, so this is basically a fancy word for distortion, so it's just giving the sound more life and character and grit. We've then got this ensemble hall, so again this is just a reverb, so making it a bit more spacey. We've then got this OTT, so you can download this for free. It's made by Xver, so the same people that make Serum, the synth. In terms of the settings, let me try and make it a bit smaller for you. There you go. Right, so we've got the depth at 20, we're boosting the high quite a lot, so all you've got to do is drag that up here. Medium, so that's the mids, we're boosting, and the lows we've kept the same. We've also got quite a lot of upward compression and a lot of downward, and yeah, it basically just helps give some character. Without it, it's quite flat. With it, really brightens up the high end, and it's more of a modern production sound. We've then got this EQ. So again, taking out these sort of mid frequencies at about 400 Hertz. We're then boosting the fuck out of the low frequencies at 31, give it some more bass, and we're boosting the fuck out of the high frequencies. Anything above 21, we're boosting the fuck out of. So yeah, number 4. So I've got it on this mode. Yeah, we've then got this little radiator. So this was a free plugin. You can probably download it for free still. It's by Sound Toys. So without it, with it. See, already these first 3 plugins is making the sound a lot more full and brighter, giving it the same style that D.O.D's giving it. So yeah, in terms of the settings to this, just turn it up, turn it up. There's not a lot to it, it's just 2 knobs. If you haven't got this and you can't be asked to download it, and maybe it's not free anymore, alternatively, you could use the Ableton's saturator, you could use the A Bit Warmer. What other settings have they got? They've got a few presets. Crew cut, soft shaper, warm up highs, that would probably be a good one. And yeah, just drop that in, exactly the same shit. Alternatively as well, you could use the amp. So Let's delete that for a second. Oh, bit much. But again, this sounds a little bit better. But yeah, I'd probably go for like the a bit warmer preset. It's just as good. The glue compressor. This is then basically just compressing it. So basically, put the threshold. You just want it to be at that, so it's not quite hitting the 5. And then it does make it quieter. So then you want to make up for that quietness by turning up the makeup game. The attack's really low, release is normal, and ratio's pretty standard. We've then got this kickstart, so this is sidechaining it to the kick. If you haven't downloaded this plugin, then you should. It's $15, and it's the best sidechain plugin you want. Yeah, it's really good. Definitely, you should get it. Probably the most plugin that I use, to be honest. That and the Pro Q3. I might make a video on the best ones, or the ones that I use anyway. So yeah, switch it to audio mode. Select the kick. I mean, you can have it on sync, but then on these up ones, then it's still compressing, but there's no kick, so it sounds a bit weird. So yeah, you want it sidechain to the kick, proper, easy to use. Love that plugin. So yeah, that's that. Bass, pretty simple. We've then got this stab. I'm not the happiest with the stab, and it's not the same stab that he's used, as you can hear it. So he's more of like a party stab. Mine's less of a party stab, I guess. But yeah, it's difficult with stabs when you're remaking them, because a lot of the times it's samples and you don't really know what synth's been used, etc, etc, and there's so many different things that could define the stab. So for this one, Set Me Free, I've called it, although it's sort of kind of Set Me Free, not quite. Anyway, to make a stab, keep it simple for you, all you need is one note. So the MIDI is just on the B, so that's the key room, and then the synth is playing, so this in +5. You could also have it +7, might sound better. Let's try it. See, I'll keep it +5, but yeah, you can have it +7, +3, whatever you fucking want. But yeah, all I've got is this basic word, so I don't know what synth that's from. Pitched up 5, so that's basically playing a note, so it's basically B now, and then up 5 semitones also, because you've got this on 0, so 0 semi up, so that's playing the B note, and this will be playing 5 up from that, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's playing an E and a B at the same time, because that has been pitched up by 5 semitones. I'll try and get it on the screen. 5 semitones. Yeah, we've then got this envelope. But yeah, that's not really, that's basically controlling the amp, so the volume, making it slide off, so it starts loud and gets quieter. We've then got this LFO controller, and the fit will cut off, so if I play it, it opens up, you can see. I've then got that controlling the sync too, so it basically changes the shape slightly. And we've then got this EQ without it. Not doing a whole lot, to be honest, but yeah, it's taking out some of the frequencies we don't really need, and just makes it a bit cleaner. We've then got this reverb without it, a bit harsh, so we could even take out some of the high end on this. Don't want it to sound too dull though. I then sidechain to the kick. I've drag and drop to the same one I've got on the bass. We'll then move on to this vocal. So this vocal is from Splice, and it is from Mark Knight Volume 5 Trademark Series, and it's in the key of B minor, so search B minor, and then look.
Set me free! Set me free! Set me free!
And then the other one is, so it just shows you don't really need a vocalist to make a banger or a commercially liable track, because Splice has that covered for you. As you can see, all he's done is grabbed this shit from Splice and dragged it on the fucking track. So yeah, just drag that on air, bosh. And yeah, he's chopped it up quite a bit, so he has put a bit of work in. And then all he's done for the build, just repeat it, so find the length of it, and then just literally do this, bosh, 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 bosh. And then back to the drop. This has already got some effects in it, so I didn't really add much. I added this vocal hall reverb, so the Ableton stock one, and the sidechain to the kick. Again, I could have used the kick too. I just used this one instead. It's doing the exact same thing, but yeah, you could just drag and drop the kick too, maybe lower the amount, so about 50%. We then got this little chop. All that is a cut from here, and yeah, that plays on the end of every fucking beat, so nice and simple. It then comes in again here. So although this song's quite simple, the drop, it's all about sort of building. So if I play it for you, so it plays on like this for a whole other bar, and then he takes out the drums. And then look, this vocal is literally repeating so many bars. So yeah, really simple. But it's just about having, it's not about overcomplicating tracks. Say the bass line works with the drums, the vocal works with that, and it just, yeah, you know, don't need to overcomplicate it. So yeah, we'll now move on to the string. So you'll hear it a lot at the start of the song. So let's build a bit of tension. The whole point of a string in most dance tracks is to create tension, so the listener knows that the drop's ending, it's the breakdown, and that it sort of builds suspense. That's the whole point of a string. Also, I guess, would be to sort of fill out those frequencies. So without it, it's just raw vocal. And it's like, oh, it doesn't sound finished. And it just helps fill out those higher frequencies. So again, it's put here at the end of the drop to build suspense and tension for the listener. So yeah, this is just in the Korg M1. Use the strings preset, so just browse, combi strings, the strings. Pretty simple, just has a bunch of strings. And then I've added this soft string in there as well, so I don't think that's in the original thing, but I quite like that preset. So yeah, just go here, click load, and then prog, soft string, bosh. That's it really. Not really played around with any of the effects or anything like that. Then got that same compressor side chain. So as you can see, it's side chained to the kick. And I've got this utility, which at the end of the drop is coming in gradually. Rather than it just hitting straight away, it sort of glides up. So the volume, that is. Pretty simple, again, really simple, nice, like so we like it, simple, fucking hell. We've then got this riser, so this is actually from the Mark Knight pack as well, I think the 5th one. So it's just a big riser. Again, whole point of that riser is to build tension. That's what the point of effects are. Raise tension, and then in the drop, release tension. It's like you're sucking in a breath on the drop. On the build, sorry, and then you have your breath out when you get to it. Then that sort of just repeats. All I've done is taken a small chop of this, chucked it over here, and then done that, and then you can do this. I've also got a kickstart on it, so it's side chain into the kick again. So when it does hit, it's not getting too much in the way of the mix. We've then got the drums. Drums probably aren't that similar to the original, and I am guilty of sort of rushing the drums and chucking any old thing in, to be honest, when it comes to remakes, because I feel like it's the least important stuff. It's sort of covered in everything, every tutorial I do. So together it's out of this. Got this kick from the Big Z pack. Got this drum bus, and we've got the transients boosted a bit and the rest of it boosted, so it's just making it a bit louder and thicker. Then got the drum group, so they got this, again, another drum bus, crunching it up, making it thicker. Got this EQ, boosting the high end, and that is quite literally it. I don't know what that utility is doing, not a whole fucking lot. So I'm going to delete that. You will notice at one point there's this break. So this break is a think break. So you can just Google think break. You can search on Splice and it will come up. I've taken out a little bit of the high end, so I find it a bit scratchy. Taking out a bit of the low end because I think it had a bit of kick, a bit of boominess that we didn't really need. In terms of the drums, then we've got this hat. So yeah, just an open hat with some effects, so a bit of distortion, taking out the low end. We've then got this snare build. In fact, I'm not going to cover all the drums because it's fucking pointless. If you want to know how to make drums, then maybe watch a different video. Go fuck yourself. So we've got the snares. So this is also from the Mark Knight pack. What I've done is click quantize because it had a bit of a swing on it, so it's like. So I put quantize so it goes, so it's dead on the beat, almost robotic. And I've got this groove, so I've extracted that from this drum loop. So this had quite a bit of swing on it. I then went to the clip, clicked extract groove, yeah, and then that extracts it, and then it'll add it to your groove pool. I then quantized this anyway for some reason. I think that was just an accident. And then I've applied the swing onto it. So I've applied its same swing onto itself, which is retarded. But then, yeah, I've applied that same swing, so it'll be on your groove again, onto this. I applied that onto every single drum channel. So here, I then quantized that again. Quantize, because it had its own swing. And you don't want two swings, you want one. Quantize, and then put that swing on it. I've then done that to the hats, to the claps, every single layer, including the bass, has that same swing, and everything but the kick. You don't want to swing the kick, apparently, or yeah, I'd never swing the kick. I think you can, but it's just pointless because everything's basically swinging off the kick. That's the whole point of it. So the kick, you don't put swing on it, and everything's sort of grooving off that kick. I hope that makes sense. I feel like it does. Then got this tambourine down here. Then look, see, it's got that swing on it. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Again, I'm going to try and be more regular with my uploads. If I'm not, feel free to comment below and tell me to stop being such a lazy bastard. Feel free, mate. So yeah, that is it. Thank you very much for watching. Obviously, Patreon, link in my bio. If you want to download this project, have a play around with it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, the master, I've got this washout. So again, you can download this for free. Basically, it's easy washout. Just helps add a bit of like shit before the build, so a bit of space and a bit of like delay. Then got this limiter boosting the volume a little bit. That's literally it. I've not mastered this track. Yeah, cool. Thanks. Bye. Yeah.